Guys, I want to prepare a payments breakdown table. Give me an example.
10 million dirhams, 12 million dirhams.
Give me an example. Okay. Property is Camellia 254. Original price
1.8.
1.8. Selling price.
2.6.
How much has been paid?
1 million.
Huh?
1 million has been paid.
And the premium,
Premium is the difference between these two figures.
Guys, look at this. Right click,
The screen.
format cells.
can you zoom in?
I'll try. Number. I'll make it like this. I'll change it to a number. I use the 1000 separator and zoom in. This is zoom in. Khop. Paid to Amar how much? How many percent? Give me percentage. 40%. Salli ala nabi. So I don't want to calculate. Okay, this one, if it's exactly 40%, what I can do, I can say equal to this multiply by this, and it'll calculate for me. Or I have to go back to the statement from the seller to make sure how much exactly has been paid, because this might be little less or more, 1000 dirham more or less. And if it has been paid more, you need to check the statement, make sure that the extra amount was not a late payment fee, because late payment fee is not considered as a part of principal amount. Guys, please do not charge your buyers for the seller's late payment fees. Okay. Paid to Amar 720,000.
Premium,
Okay, now we start the calculations. Okay, first I need to calculate what? Premium. Premium is how much?
equals to
Selling price minus
B3.
original price, right? Okay, so how much is payable to seller? How much the buyer should pay to seller?
Plus 720.
Original price plus.
Okay, one second, let's do one more thing. How much is due to Amar?
The balance of 1.8 minus 7.
No, how much is due to Amar? Depends on your payment plan. Is there any payments due in the next 30 days?
Let's say no.
Let's
Easier, no.
let's say no.
Let's say yes.
Huh?
Let's make it yes.
Yes? Okay, yes. How much is due?
10,000 is due in 29 days.
10% is due. Okay. So this is 10% multiplied by original price. 180,000 is due now. Hope. Premium is selling price minus original price. Payable to seller is how much?
850 plus.
Okay, let's say in this case, who pays the due to Amar?
Sorry?
Who wants to pay? Buyer wants to pay? Okay, buyer will pay.
What did you buy? Serious.
Paid to Amar, give it to the seller, right? So seller-
Paid to Amar, you have to give it to the seller. So payable to seller is how much you have paid to Amar plus the premium.
Premium plus the due.
Nahi, bhaijan.
Due,
Due to the amount.
due that will be this.
So this is payable
Oh,
by buyer to seller. When should you pay it?
Before that.
Huh?
Or before the NOC 30 days.
When you go to
قبول है
أقول قبلت
قبلته
Can you stop for 1 second?
Payable to seller is buyer has to pay this much. What are the other payments?
GAD.
First. Amar transfer NOC fees, or let's say transfer NOC fees. Transfer NOC fee कितना है?
5,250.
Who will pay?
Buyer.
To whom? To? Okay. Now one thing. Buyer cannot pay the transfer fees to seller, to Amar. Why not? How do you apply for NOC?
Seller has to go.
Seller has to apply. How does the seller apply for NOC?
You have to pay on spot. Okay. So the
seller applies for NOC on I'mar 1 app. صح ولا لا? Or by visiting the developer office. So seller applies for NOC through I'mar 1 app or by visiting developer's office. At the same time, they will charge him. Okay. So here, instead of writing payable by buyer to I'mar, I will write payable by buyer for the transfer NOC fees. Means at the time of transfer, I will let him pay by cash to the seller. قبلتوا؟ قبلتوا.
It is paid to.
It is paid to I'mar. Seller pays to I'mar, buyer will pay to the seller. If the condition of the deal is that NOC paid by the buyer, it can be paid by the seller also. Depends on how you structure the
general
deal.
practice, it's
The general practice is that the seller says, this is my net price. Anything on top of that, let the buyer pay. This is the general practice. Still, it's negotiable. Okay. Transfer NOC fees. What are the other fees?
Trustee office fee.
When we go for the trustee, in the trustee they will charge us. Trustee fees.
How much they charge?
Trustee fees, how much will charge? Is it off plan or title deed?
It's off.
It's off plan. So how much has to be paid? 5,250. Again, payable by buyer to
The trustee.
the
Now it means 10,500.
sure 5,000 for I'mar, 5,000 for trustee
No,
office.
but because the
This is for
receiver
I'mar,
different,
this is for trustee office.
These are including VAT, right?
These are including
that's
that. It's actually 5,000 plus that.
50 VAT.
قبول है؟
قبلته. الان همین جاست که بایر جا بزن. بود آقا.
خب what else؟ ها؟ Transfer fees. कितना है؟
4% जाएगा. 4% to the selling price.
4% multiplied by
7,267.
1.8 or 2.7? 2.67. So it's payable by 2. I write it in capital so that the seller, if the buyer needs to prepare a manager check, he has the correct spelling.
So, sir, can you repeat this?
Transfer fees, 4% of selling price.
Commission.
Okay, and then on top of transfer fees, there is some title deed fees, which is,
500.
let's say for example, 580. Again, payable by buyer to Dubai Land Department.
Expensive جایگاه.
مثلا دستم به کم نمیره میدونی؟ خب
This one is off plan, so it cannot be titled.
عقود.
خب عقود فیز ببخشید
Very good.
ببخشید ای خدا
That's the point.
راست میگه دیگه بیا
Not time for commission. This is the best part. Commission.
آفرین کدناه How much you want to charge?
Listen.
2% صلی علی النبی
2%.
So on the selling price multiplied by 2% plus 5%, right?
What's the 5%?
VAT. 2% plus VAT.
It's VAT on the commission?
Yeah, of course.
This is the
Because we
money
have
you
to pay VAT.
make. Every money you
Any
make.
single
is
dirham
entitled
that
for
comes, you need to charge VAT because it's service fee. Qabul? Qabul. This one is payable by who to whom? To
broker.
the buyer is asking me how much money do I need?
Equals to
How much money do I need now? Number one. How much do I need later? Number two. How much will be my all-inclusive price? Okay. Needed now. How much you need now?
He needs 720
Sabko. 720 plus 180 plus
870
premium plus 5250 plus trustee fees plus transfer fees plus uqud fees plus He bought it for 2.67, but he is paying only 1.94 now.
The difference.
Future payments. Bago ayli, sir.
Who says?
Need it now, this 1 million. It's for who?
The buyer needs this much. This is the total amount the buyer needs to pay, including all the fees until the execution of transfer.
Okay.
Qabul? Khob. Needed now. Then,
Now the
future payments. Future, how much you need?
Minus that.
minus what?
2,607,000.
No.
The premium.
No.
40% is paid, 10% he will pay now, 50%. So the balance is 50%.
50%
equals to original price
Original.
of 50%. Seller will be out of the picture
of course.
and it will be between you and the developer. So you will get a new SPA from I'mar, and by the way, this is when the payment plan is transferable. There are cases like Dubai properties where the payment plan is not transferable. It has to be fully settled. This is the case where the payment plan is transferred to the buyer. Now, when the transfer is done, same payment plan is transferred to the buyer. So the new owner will continue the installments to I'mar. Okay. So this is payable by.
943. Khalas and done with the.
Seller is out of the picture. Salam alaikum, bye bye. Now the new buyer has to continue to I'mar. Payable by the buyer to I'mar as per the
Installment.
payment plan, installments, whatever it is. So all inclusive will be how much?
1.9 plus 900.
Thank you. So total he is buying 1.9 plus 900,000, which is 2. Now compare this to this.
In fact, he is paying this much extra.
Well, how much is he paying extra?
This minus that one.
Minus
Minus
To that one. 267. 170.
this 173 is the costs of transfer, including the commission, trustee office, okay, which is how much of the price? If you want to calculate for your information, it will be
No.
like
Yes, selling price.
6.5% of the selling price. Why is he paying 6.5% of the fees? Because 4% is transfer. Why is he paying 6.5%? Because 4% is transfer fees, 2% is commission, and 0.5% is NOC and trustee. Qabul? Hala. One more example.
Wait.
I mean, yeah.
Downtown Fountain Views.
8 Boulevard, 1 bedroom.
Yes.
Below the opening.
Fully paid. Payment is. Go there, tell him he's in meeting. It's fully paid. Okay. Ownership is what? Title deed. Qabul?
Yes.
Status is rented. For how much? 1 bedroom kitna price? 70,000. Until
No, it's 8 Boulevard.
Sorry, 8 Boulevard. And
8 Boulevard in downtown, 1 bedroom is rented for 70,000 until 12 of February 2023. Qabul hai? Qabul. Khair. Price kitna hai?
Price कितना है?
1 million.
Sorry, what's this?
Selling price.
Sorry.
Selling price. That's your selling price. Okay. Sir,
Maybe it's zooming.
chukka.
Can you make it big?
Zoom in. Oh, sorry. Acha hai? Decimal. The zeros are decimals. After zero, I don't want fills. I don't need fills. Okay. Selling price is 1 million. Service charge? 19 per square feet. Let's say let's say your size is, for example, 850 square feet. Okay. And you are paying 19 dirham per square foot, for example. Let's say your service charge is 16,150. So every quarter it will be how much? Approximately 5,300. Let's say today is, let's say this amount has been paid until end of March. Guys, I need your 200% focus. 5,383, for example, this is just an example, paid by the seller to Amar
It's not 580.
to settle.
5,300. It's supposed to be divided by 4.
No, but
I did already. Divided by 4. If 1 year service charge is 16,000, quarter service. I divided by 3?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Paid by the seller to Amar to settle. الان درست میکنم. To settle service charges until March is 30 or 31? 31st March 22. خب. Now let's fix the amount. You are 100% right. Every quarter is 4,037. قبول? 4,037. Okay. Now, rent is how much? 70,000. How many checks?
4 checks. 1 check. Okay, 1 check.
قبول؟ قبول. خب. Transfer date. Give me a transfer date.
15 March.
For the service charge, you have a date. Okay, this is transfer date. And what is your service charge settlement date? Qabul? So this is how many days?
16 days.
16 days. And your service charge is how much?
That divided by 365.
Your service charge is how much?
Daily.
44 dirham daily. So this will be how many days?
44 times 16.
700. Okay. So with this, to settle the service charge, buyer must pay how much? To the seller. Qabul? Qabul? Service charge every day is exactly this amount, 44.24. Because I'm paying 16,000 every year. Or 4,337 per quarter. So I have paid for 16 days. 16 times 44, 708 dirham. I have already paid. Now that the property is yours, you will pay it back to me. This is to settle the service charges. What about the rent? Today transfer is what? 15. The transfer is 15th March. The check has been paid. The rental is until 12 of Feb. 35,000, let's say for example, this was in 2 checks, 2 equal checks. Okay. 35,000 was paid in Feb 2022 and 35k was given to the landlord dated what? 12 of August, right? Qabul? The tenant has given 2 checks to the landlord. 35,000 in the beginning of the contract, which was 12 of February 22, and 35,000 dated, a check, post-dated check, dated 12 of August. Okay. Means the landlord has received how much already? 35,000. Until?
Today. He actually received the money until August.
He has received the rent for until 11 of August. Right? Okay. This is how many days?
You got minus the transfer. Yeah.
How much is your rent per day?
This money, this into 70,000 divided by 365.
Qabul? This is your rent per day. So it means how much should be settled? This multiplied by?
140.
Qabul? So to settle the rent, seller must pay how much?
28575
to the buyer on the day of transfer. Qabul?
Yes.
خیلی خوب. On top of that, seller must give deposit let's say 3,500 or whatever it was, deposit amount, plus the
Pending check.
PDC of 35K.
Second check.
Qabul?
But that PDC will be after the date of.
Then they go to the tenant. Dear Mr. Tenant, this is your last check. Give me a new check in name of the new owner. This is a part of your after sale services.
We are getting the house, but the tenant can stay still, yeah?
Of course.
Okay.
Whatever was the terms and conditions of the tenancy, when the owner changes, will remain the same. Nothing will
Buying
change.
the house, okay.
But while
The landlord is selling the property to someone else, even if it's sold 100 times, the terms and conditions for the tenant will not change.
I thought you mean that I want to move in.
No.
Okay.
You want to move in, that's a different scenario. Eviction, notice, 365 days. What else? So it means the seller wants to pay 28,000 and wants to get 708,000. It means seller must pay, instead of 28,575, he will pay 27,867. Qabul? Qabul? Ho. Rented we discussed. Ready, rented, discussed.
tenancy contract now. For this one, will you changing the
Of course. When you change the ownership, you will go to the tenant. Dear Mr. Tenant, salamun alaikum. This is your new landlord. Please meet him. This is his mobile number. If you need any plumbing, damage, you break anything, any problem, you can call me or you can call him. I'm also at your service. This is your landlord. This is his contact number. This is his business card. And this is the new title deed. This is your old tenancy contract. We are returning it to you. This is your new tenancy contract with the same terms and conditions, just a different name. Please sign it. This is your copy. This is my copy. And this is your PDC or PDCs, whatever was balanced. Please get it back. Give me new one in name of the new owner. All your terms and conditions will remain the same. Nothing has changed. Whatever you had agreed in writing with the previous